Have you ever craved something so much, but you can't get your hands on it, so you just decide to make it yourself? That is the situation we find ourselves in today. I am craving the little rainbow cookies from Ukrops. And if you don't know what Ukrops is, you're probably not from Virginia or specifically Richmond. They were a grocery store that was bought out and became Martin's, which eventually became Publix here. And they had these little cookies that I couldn't find the recipe for it online until I stumbled across like a Richmond Reddit thread or subreddit. Yeah, that's what it's called. And someone said they're icebox cookies that have been dyed. So I looked up a recipe for icebox cookies. Of course it wasn't vegan, so we're gonna make vegan icebox cookies, AKA Ukrops rainbow cookies. And we're gonna see if it is actually that and how they taste vegan. I have a bowl of 1/2 cup of butter that has softened, and we're going to add a cup of brown sugar. I made this brown sugar by myself. A cup of brown sugar, it said pack. So, oh no! Let's call that. This is a 1/2 cup measuring. So that's half. Let's do one more. Yeah, I think they still sell them in Publix and like maybe other grocery stores. I think maybe Kroger here. But obviously they're not vegan. So we gotta make do. And the recipe also called for 1 large egg. And this is the vegan egg substitute that I use. You do 1 tablespoon and 1 tablespoon of this, 2 tablespoons of water for every egg. So it's just the 1 and it's in here. And while this is in here, I'm going to go ahead and add the 1/2 teaspoon vanilla extract they call for. 1/2 teaspoon. And I'm just gonna mix it in with that because I am going to go ahead and beat this together. Okay, so I creamed together the butter and brown sugar. Forgot to mention, this is the vegan butter that I use. I also really like Miyoko's. It's like vegan cultured butter. That's what I prefer to use with baking, but this is what I had, so I just wanted to use it up. And next we will add in our egg and vanilla mixture. This is what it's looking like. Now that we've added our egg, we're gonna beat this. You can see that looks different from what I just did. Scrape this off. Now we add a 1/2 teaspoon baking soda. So 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm using my fancy schmancy salt. 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Again, it's my 1/2 cup, so I'm going to take 4 of these. Have it off. I also just looked at the recipe again, and apparently you're supposed to freeze this for 12 hours, and that's just not gonna happen. Like, I know people say like chill your cookie dough and stuff, but why is that? I need to look at that. I promise, if these don't turn out good, I'm not gonna be one of those people that like leaves a bad review on a recipe because they did their own thing. Okay, let's see, that's pretty well combined. Now I'm going to separate this dough into 3 equal parts for the coloring. Plant-based food coloring from Whole Foods. This is the red, this is the green, and this is the yellow. So I think how I'm gonna do this is lightly flour the counter and roll each into a log and then like combine them and then cut them. Well, look, let's just go. Let's take the yellow again just because I don't want the other colors to stain it. So like, make a log. Hey, don't break. Careful and like still need to roll it out more. Put it on top and then kind of like roll this all together. Oh gosh, this is not going how I thought. Okay, let's try to salvage the situation. How about we leave them like this on top of each other, and then I'll just cut them and we'll shape them each individual cookie like that. At least now we have it so it can be portioned out. Each have their own distinct portion of color. How cute is that? It's like a little pie chart. What they look like. Ready to go into the oven that's been preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And the recipe said to bake for 6 to 8 minutes. I'm going to go the full 8 minutes. I don't want them to be too like chewy and gooey. The timer just went off, so let's see how they look. I know they smell good. Ooh! I gotta like touch one. They're still very, very doughy, but this oven, oftentimes I have to increase the time that a recipe will say, like any recipe that I use. For some reason, this oven doesn't work at the times that they say. So I will add it for, this is 8 minutes. Maybe let's try 5 more minutes, and I'm just gonna do increments of 5 and see how that works. Okay, they flattened out a lot. On the bottom, like the edge is a little more cooked through than the middle piece. So I think I am gonna bake them a little longer. They have cooled and we are ready to try. Look at that natural lighting. This is the texture I was looking for. That is really tasty. It tastes just like a sugar cookie. To be honest, it's been so long since I ate the Ukrops one. I don't think it was quite like this. This is like fresh out the oven and cooled, so you know it's still warm and it's not as like crunchy, but theirs wasn't very crunchy either, so I don't know how to describe it. But this is really good. Would I go through all the trouble of dyeing them again? No, because it doesn't really make a difference. But cute to look at, and it tastes really good. Oh my god, I'm like gonna relax or I'm gonna eat them all. Yeah.